Well, I mean, I think it's a really good. I think it's a really good vegetarian dish. Mm-hmm. You know, if you're good, if you have vegetarians in your family.
Let me put that in.
Yep. Okay, this goes into the oven about 45 minutes. Oh,
Here, I got it.
weighs a ton. Yes, it does. You know, these boxes of vegetables that you can have.
It's fruits and vegetables.
Well, it's fruits and vegetables, yeah. Hi, this is Judy Keys, and welcome to Cooking for All Seasons. And this is my friend Jeannie, and you know Jeannie.
Hello.
She's been here before.
Yes.
She's my bud. So, and today is called the Fall Vegetable Box, and we're cooking today. What we're cooking is things that are delivered. I'm just going to read this to you because this is sort of, these are boxes that you can get delivered. There's companies that come from all over. There's different companies that produce these kinds of boxes. They're delivered once a month, every other month. And this is the sort of the encyclopedia's definition of this. It's called a vegetable box scheme is a delivery of fresh vegetables, usually locally grown and organic, either directly to the customer or to a local collection point. And Jeannie, you made a good idea. I mean, these are, you know, if you're somebody who, you know, works or something like that, it's like really kind of neat. It's a neat idea. I think it sort of gets you familiar maybe with vegetables that you're not, you know, that you're not usually, so maybe something that you wouldn't normally pick in the grocery store or something like that. So it gets you more associated. And like I said, they come once or twice a month or something. So and they go throughout the whole year. And today we just happen to be doing the ones from the fall. And in a while, I have some friends that are actually produced one in this area, in the Gilroy area, called Temptations, and they're going to be bringing a box through. But you had a good idea, too, about the fact is that a lot of the fall vegetables you can technically, grow?
Yeah, you can have a fall vegetable garden. And I haven't heard of this until recently with a friend of mine who says, oh, I'm going to plant my winter garden. I said, what's a winter garden? So it's all the squashes and
the heavier squashes, the butternut squashes, the ones with the thicker skins or something, I guess.
And green beans and potatoes.
And interesting. Well, potatoes like grow underneath the ground, so that's kind of interesting. You know, I guess probably you have to start it maybe during, you know, what do they call it? The early fall,
Indian summer.
The Indian summer.
Yeah.
Which is kind of when you get some of the heat going on, which is strange because this weekend it's going to be like 98. Well, we've been waiting all summer for 98 weather, and now we're getting it, and it's already the fall. But what are you going to do?
Yeah.
So, like I said, there's a lot of companies that do this, and they produce vegetables in boxes of things that that are organically grown, local to your area. You know, throughout the state of California and all out throughout the United States. I was looking on the computer, and this is very popular. And actually, it's very, very popular in the UK.
Oh.
They deliver thousands of boxes of fresh vegetables. Well, probably because, maybe it's difficult for people to get to markets. I don't know, but. You know, the UK is, their grocery stores are much different than ours, I think, in certain respects. And they have a lot of they have a lot of markets, you know, organic markets and growing markets, you know, like farmers markets and stuff. And maybe people don't get a chance to get out there but want the products. And so it's an easy way. But it was really interesting. So.
And that's good that you're going to show some recipes to make with that kind of
it's, you know,
winter garden things.
So, okay, so the first thing we're going to start off with today, we're going to make three things. We're going to make a chicken and fresh corn soup. We're going to make a vegetable bread pudding, which I know it sounds kind of, but bread pudding is always sweet, but in this case it's going to be a savory bread pudding. And then we're going to make a mixed fruit monkey bread with fresh apples and stuff like that. You don't know what a monkey bread is, but we'll let you see it later, and I hope that you make it. It's pretty easy to make. But the first thing we're going to do is we got to get the chicken in the oven, and this is, yeah, I have notes because I don't remember everything. These are just chicken breasts, chicken thighs, pre-cooked chicken, leftover chicken, any kind of chicken you like. This is what you can use for the soup. I mean, you don't have to pre-cook your chicken. If you don't have time, you could technically cut it up, dice it up. I would probably do it pretty small because you're going to put it in the soup.
Right,
but I
right.
wouldn't put a whole chicken breast in the soup, though. It would have time to cook. You just have to leave it in there long enough.
Do you have to have the skin on?
No, but when you cook chicken, and
it's better with it on.
it's better with it on. I mean,
Yeah.
it gets so.
I mean, you can take it off before you
Oh yeah,
cut
I mean,
it up.
you're gonna take it off before we cut it up. But if you cook the chicken breasts before, I mean, without the skin on it, it's
dry.
It gets all dried up and everything. And okay, so an extra couple calories one way or the other is not gonna. Well, maybe, I don't know. Like, look at me, like I should be talking, but that's, and plus on top of it, I put a little olive oil in here. Okay, I'm bad, but anyway, olive oil is not gonna. And then the thing is that I use this Goya adobo, which is, to me, it says all-purpose seasoning. I really like this, but to me, as I was telling you, this is like the Hispanic Lowry's.
Yeah,
I mean,
seasoned salt, yeah.
It's like a seasoning. Well, it is. It's like an all-purpose seasoning salt.
Yeah.
It really is. It's good. So let's get this in the oven. I'm putting it in the oven. I think I set it like, I don't know, 350, 400. So we're just going to leave it in there to roast, and we're going to get the soup going right away. And, okay, we're going to, like, shift over here. And I'm actually going to bring the recipe so that I don't, I can tell you what we put in it already, and also that I don't forget to tell you what I've put in it, and because I don't want to forget anything. So this is a chicken and fresh corn soup, and the first thing I've already done here is I have these are red.
You can tilt the pan. You want to tilt it up there?
Can you see that? Is that better?
There we go.
These are red onions, and there's red onions, garlic, some carrots, and a couple. In this case, I put a couple of jalapenos that I diced up really small, because these jalapenos, if you can believe it, are not hot. They were flavorful, but they weren't hot. I mean, they didn't have a lot of heat to them. Can you hear me? Mm-hmm. Can you see me? Mm-hmm. Okay. And so, but you got to be careful because jalapenos are kind of weird. They're kind of, and I've said this before, they're kind of positional in a field. So one part of the field could be like really hot ones, and I have no idea why. Well, that's what I was told. So the only thing is that I've just put in a little bit of olive oil and just sauteed them first. So then the next thing that we're going to add to it, I'm going to turn this on and get this heated up. And the next thing we're going to add to this is I have some dried Mexican oregano and some cumin.
And I remember from previous shows that you've done that the Mexican oregano is better than
Well, yeah,
your everyday.
For Mexican cooking, it is.
It's really
it does.
flavorful.
It has a really distinctive flavor to it comparatively to say. Well, there's like different oreganos. There's Mexican oregano. There's Italian. There's Greek, which is also really good. I made some chicken the other day with some Greek oregano.
Oh.
And that tastes different. So if you get a chance and you're in a market where you can see where there's a difference. I mean, places, certain markets carry the different ones, and you want to try them out. You can always put oregano on chicken. You can put Mexican oregano on chicken. You can put Greek oregano on chicken. You can put Italian oregano. So you can always try them. Chicken's like sort of like a like a painter's what do you call it? Like
the palette.
Like the palette. Yeah, you know. So you can put oregano on there, and you can also put lemon with it.
Oh. Okay.
So you can put lemon with each one of those, and sort of and olive oil. Of course, there's Greek olive oil and there's Italian olive oil, but you could just do all kinds of stuff. But if you get a chance, you might want to try them.
Smells good already.
Yeah, it definitely has a definite distinctive flavor. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to add, these are cut up tomatoes. You have fresh tomatoes, and in the boxes, a lot of times, even there's tomatoes available. Mm-hmm. You're going to get tomatoes during the winter time too. If you don't get them,
can of tomatoes.
Get a can of tomatoes. Oh, so there's a couple of, there's some garlic in here too.
But you'll have the recipe online.
Oh yeah. Yeah, all the recipes will be online. And if you're vegetarian, use vegetable stock. We're going to use chicken stock, vegetarian.
Right.
Don't put the chicken stock in, and don't put the chicken in, because it's fine. Increase the vegetables. You can put any kind of vegetables. You could actually put, squash in this. You could put butternut squash. You could put some yams in this. You could put some beans.
Green beans.
Green beans. You could put any of the winter pumpkin. Hispanic use a lot of pumpkin.
Oh.
So you could actually do that. So this is kind of the only difference is just don't use chicken stock, because I mean that's what we're going to use, but you don't have to. Okay, then I want to show you this is a fresh. Obviously, this is your corn cob, and I've already cut one or two actually, but I wanted to show you, so I'm just going to dump these in here. This is how I do it. I guess there's all kinds of fancy tools and everything to do this, but I take a small knife and I stick it in a bowl, because otherwise they go flying all over the place. And if you just kind of be real kind of careful, you can kind of cut them off.
Oh yeah.
And hopefully pretty much they mostly fall into the bowl.
Very easy.
Yeah. It's there. You can get if you can't. You're going to get fresh corn probably in a box, in a fall box, probably through November, because fresh corn still is available. Mm-hmm. After that, if you don't get fresh corn, I would probably before I used canned corn, though you could, I probably would use frozen.
Frozen corn.
Yeah. So instead of using, I just use like a large, like a package of corn. And and the other thing is, you could really, really change this up. You could actually put some hominy in it.
Oh, that would be nice.
Yeah. So which is like one of my favorite things. I love hominy. Do you like hominy?
Yes, I do.
I
like the yellow one better than the white one, just because it looks better.
Oh yeah? And also, it's really strange, and there's actually a difference between hominies. There's like a Mexican hominy.
Oh.
And I don't know what they call the other one, just like regular hominy. But the yellow one that's real sleek, but then there's a Mexican one that's almost like it's been popped.
Oh wow. I haven't seen it. Is that in a can?
And it's white, yeah. So then we've got this, and then the next thing we put everything. We got the chicken in the oven cooking. So you want to get me the water, and then we're going to put like 6 cups of water in here. And if you got chicken stock, that's fine. We're going to put the water in here, and then we're just going to let this cook. Then, okay, I put water in here, but we need a little bit of, like I said before, if you want to make this vegetarian, don't make a chicken stock in here. So actually, I had a couple cups of.
Oh, so what are you putting in?
This is just.
Oh, the powdered chicken bouillon.
Yeah, because I had a couple cups of chicken stock in that water that I had already. So, but very easy. Mm-hmm. So you could really throw this together pretty fast.
Yes.
And like I said, if you don't have time, cook chicken. You could actually if you were going to put raw chicken in, I put it in right now.
Oh.
Dice it up, put it in right now, because this is now it's gonna cook, on low for about a half an hour or so, and then we're gonna take the chicken out of the oven and we're gonna cut it up and put it in and let it cook for another half an hour, and then we're gonna throw in about a third to a half a cup of fresh cilantro, chopped up. So if you don't have time to pre-cook the chicken, or you want to use whatever, if you don't want to put chicken in it at all, don't. I mean, it's not.
Right.
You don't have to. Actually, you could really put a whole lot of stuff in here. You could put sausages in here. I mean, if you had some what do you call it, chorizo or something, you could do a lot of things with this. You could change up the vegetables. So anyway, this is done. Okay. So let's just move this to the back. We're gonna switch now. We're gonna change places. This is just gonna go onto the back, and we're gonna put this on low, as long as we don't catch our paper on fire.
That's probably a good idea.
And then we're gonna start. Okay. Now, next recipe. We are going to start doing the vegetable bread pudding.
Okay.
Because we have a lot of stuff to do, and I want to make sure that we get it all done. So let's close this up. Okay. Now, okay. This is a vegetable bread pudding. Okay, everybody knows about bread. I'm sure most people have had bread pudding before. There's all kinds of bread puddings, but most of them are desserts. This is a savory bread pudding. You could say it's a stuffing. I would probably, today I'm going to show you, because I've roasted a chicken. It tastes really good with roasted chicken and gravy. It really does. And the point of it is to create a sort of a moist environment with bread and good vegetables and stuff to accompany.
As a side dish.
As a side dish,
chicken,
yeah. So if you're having like 50 or 60 people or something for Thanksgiving, and you need some extra,
that's a good idea.
some extra stuffing or something. I guess
Or a side
dish. This would be like wonderful. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So what it starts off with is a couple cups of just onion and some red bell, which is obviously a fall type of vegetable. And then the next thing we're going to add in here is
mushrooms.
Some mushrooms, and this is a combination. These are some just regular white mushrooms and some portobellas. So it's really kind of whatever's available and whatever you like. Some people like portobellas. Some people like creminis, which are actually baby portobellas. It's like kind of whatever you like. The only thing I can say is make sure that you gotta put a little salt in. And I mean, because the thing is that you're going to be this is going to go in like over about a pound and a quarter of bread. So if you don't put enough salt in it, you're not going to have any flavor.
Right.
I mean, you don't get nuts with the salt, but I mean, just like you would salt, you just want to kind of salt your layers a little bit.
Okay.
And then a little bit of pepper. You like a lot of pepper, put a lot of pepper in. I don't want it. And what's in here is butter and olive oil.
Oh, both.
Yeah, because I think that butter is really kind of nice.
Flavor.
Yeah, the flavor of the butter is nice. And actually, I actually have some unsalted butter. So that's what I use. But
That's
use,
usually what I have too.
you kind of, if you have unsalted butter at home, use that. If you have salted butter, just be aware of the butter that you're using. If it's salted, obviously you don't want to add a lot more salt to it.
Right.
So if you're going to put the mushrooms in, you want to kind of make sure that you're going to cook them, long enough so that they get some of the moisture out of them.
Right.
And you can smell they're already beginning to blossom.
And cook down.
Yeah, and mushrooms are available all year round, and my guess is that in most of the fall boxes, you would probably at some point receive mushrooms, don't you think? I would think, because they're a real and especially around here, where we have some really major mushroom growers.
Yeah.
And I don't know, our mushroom, I couldn't really, you know what, when the guys get here from Temptations, let's ask them if mushrooms are organic. I don't know. That's a question. I don't know if they consider organic mushrooms. I don't know. I mean, I guess there are, but I don't think that they put very much, I don't think they spray anything on mushrooms.
I don't know.
I don't know that. So that's going to be a question I'm going to remind me to ask them when they get here. So look, I mean, they've already cooked down. It doesn't take too long. So the next thing, now, can you see the color difference? This is butternut squash and sweet potato.
Oh, okay.
And I cut them up, diced them up, and I put them in some boiling salt water.
Okay.
For like about, I don't know, 4 or 5 minutes, and then drained them real well. Because I think that to get them a little bit pre-cooked, I think is better.
So they're not really
So they're
hard.
not really hard.
Yeah.
Even though this is going to cook in the oven for like 45 minutes, I think that cooks better that way.
Right. Makes sense.
Yeah. So this is kind of, this is going to go in here.
It is pretty colors.
Isn't that pretty? I thought it was really nice. And then, nice, huh? I think it smells good too. And then wait, because we're gonna, one of the things that we're really lucky to have around here are a lot of fresh herbs. Now, if you don't have fresh herbs, we're gonna chop some up in a few minutes. If you don't have fresh herbs available, use dried herbs. But just be careful with dried herbs, because the difference between putting dried herbs in something and putting fresh herbs in, a tablespoon is a teaspoon.
So which way?
So you want to do a tablespoon of dried herbs, of fresh herbs, would be like a teaspoon
Of the dry.
of dried, because
Okay.
when they're dried, they're much more pungent.
Okay.
So if you don't want to, especially things like thyme and the things that we're going to use, rosemary and stuff like that, you're going to get way too much flavor going on. So we're going to put a little bit of salt in here. And then if you'll get that pan, the red one over there, while I'm chopping, and then we'll get the egg out of the refrigerator.
Heavy.
Oh yeah,
La Crusade.
yeah. Oop, we have melting butter here. So we're gonna move over here. Okay,
Oh.
guys.
Did you want it over here on the counter?
Yeah. And if you want to get there's an egg, the custard's already made. So okay. I just want to make sure that I have fresh thyme.
Did you want me to spray this?
Yeah. Just spray a little, and then we're going to also put some butter in there. Just to make sure that, that it comes out pretty good. We have some fresh thyme. We have some fresh savory, which looks really a lot like the thyme.
Oh, it does.
Yeah.
I don't see the difference.
Yeah, but it is. It's hard.
Oh, maybe it's this one.
Yeah, there it is.
And then this is rosemary.
Yeah.
That I recognize. We have those bushes at home all over.
Yeah. Savory's like really, no,
Oh, yeah.
it's very distinctive. And then the fresh rosemary, just be really, really careful with the fresh rosemary because it's like,
It really overpowers.
it can
things.
like, it'll take over.
Yeah.
So I'm just warning you now, don't, if you think this much, take half of what you think and then half that again. Because it will
Overpower everything.
Overpower everything. So, and this is something that you might get in a box too, is a package of fresh herbs.
Oh.
Which is kind of nice, especially around the holidays and stuff like that. Oh, really anytime, because you can use these are all definitely herbs. Yeah, just a few. Whoa. I'm not worried about that. The thyme is going to be okay.
This
But-
one's, oh, you're doing thyme. I'll do this savory.
Yeah, the thyme is going to be okay, but it's that rosemary that'll kick us. My daughter uses a lot of savory. She really likes savory. That seems to be something, and evidently it's, these are things that you can't grow. These are definitely
Oh, really?
growable. Well, like you said, you grow
The
the rosemary.
rosemary,
right?
yeah, that's pretty
But
easy.
these are, these are things
Hard
to
to
grow.
kill. It works
But-
well with me.
But they also last a long time if you get them in your package. I just wrapped these in. I wrapped them in a damp paper towel and kept them in the refrigerator. You could let them dry too.
How about when we were talking before about basil? And when you buy the basil, you can actually freeze that. So you put them in a little plastic bag and you put that in the freezer, and then you can chop that up when you need it. The
Yeah.
basil, can you do that with these too?
Yeah, I don't see why not. I mean,
Because it's a shame when you go to the store and you buy these fresh.
yeah, it's
And
expensive.
then you use a little bit, and then the rest of it sits there and
Well,
rots
that's what I'm
and-
saying. So, especially for these kinds, definitely you either let it dry or wrap it in a towel because you're going to use it again, or put it in the freezer. But for basil, what I do when I know that I'm not going to use it all, I just stick it in a blender with some olive oil, and then put it in a plastic bag and squish it down to the bottom.
Oh.
And then when I need it, I just open the plastic bag and break off a chunk. I know a lot of people put it into like ice cubes and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
But I don't do that because then I have to use like a whole ice cube worth. And sometimes I just want like a little bit if I'm just, if I'm just making something that I just need a little bit of the flavor, So that's,
How much do you need of this?
okay. And, well,
About
there's we actually have a lot of, I just want to make sure, because like I said, you're probably looking at least a tablespoon of each, so,
Oh, yeah, I'm sure you've got that. Oh, and then, did you
Yeah.
get the rosemary over there?
yeah.
Oh, okay.
So then we're just going to chop this up. But, like I said, if you could grow these things. I mean, this is not something that you can't grow, but if you're going to get them and you get them in your box, and then, you could get it in any fall box, in your summer box. I mean, these are not just herbs but they do have a tendency to be holiday type of
Flavoring.
flavorings.
Yeah.
Definitely, especially the savory. Though I don't know, and the combination, I guess. And then I probably would think that maybe some sage. Definitely some sage. So,
Especially with chicken.
ooh, yeah. Okay, so then we're just going to take this.
Okay. And so
Okay.
what's in here?
Okay, so I'm going to scoot behind you. Will you just take and rub some butter in there? And I'm going to scoot over here. And I'm going to put this in here.
Oh,
Yeah, just whack off a piece of butter. You want to
maybe I'll do it with a paper towel or something?
yeah, and then just mix it up because you want to put your herbs in here while it's cooking so that the oils and stuff are released into your mix with the vegetables. Okay, so I know you can smell it. Well, you can't help but not get that.
I can smell it.
Yeah, you smell it because we cooked
How
it.
about you? Can you smell it at home?
I know, the house smells like Thanksgiving. But look at how pretty. See, it just kind of cooks down. And then I think we got everything.
Okay.
Okay, now, you're supposed to taste. So I guess I have to taste this.
You also want to see if you have enough salt, too.
Yeah. No, a little bit more. Because we don't want to be looking for the salt. But the only thing we're going to add now, we are going to add like a cup of cheese. And the cheese is going to have to be I think it would have to be sort of your decision. I said to put in like a white cheese or something like that, maybe a combination of Asiago and Parmesan and stuff. But I think, when I think about it, I think that it would probably be more sort of kind of like what you would like.
Your favorite kind.
Yeah, so see there's a bag of cheese over there.
Yes.
And I had some Swiss and some Gruyere, which sounded kind of good. Okay, 6 eggs, 3 cups of half and half, a good healthy teaspoon of Dijon mustard,
Oh,
some
be
black,
tasty.
fresh ground black pepper, and some salt. Because remember, you got 6 eggs in here, so you want to make sure that you season the eggs and the milk and stuff. Okay, this is about 1.25 pounds, about 1.25 pounds or something, of
is that a French bread or
well, it's a, what do you call
what's
it?
called?
Okay, like that went out of my head. Okay, see that, and this is the reason why. What did I wanted to make sure that I told you a ciabatta.
Ciabatta, yes.
See, this is the reason why I write it down, because there's so many different kinds. But I also want to say, if you don't want to use ciabatta, use whatever kind that you like. And don't cut off the crust. This is not a delicate. This is not a delicate bread pudding.
Mm-hmm.
If you were making like a white chocolate bread pudding or something, you might want to cut the crust off and maybe use, some croissants or something,
Yeah.
But this is a heavier bread pudding, so you could use day-old bread, you could use whatever you have in the fridge, you could use sourdough, you could use whatever you like, but this is what I happen to use. So we're gonna put these in here. And I cut them up kind of small because I think in this case,
Kind of bite size.
yeah, I think it's easier to eat, to kind of get it out of there, out of the pan once it cooks. And then we're gonna squish it down in there.
Get them all soaked up.
Soaked up. I imagine if you could make this in the morning, let it sit in your refrigerator, and then put it in the oven an hour or so before you're going to have dinner, so it come out nice and warm. Boop. Yeah, when they're getting stuck in here, so you want to get in there and you got a spoon hanging around in there somewhere.
This size?
Yeah, I think. Oh, that's good. Yeah, that's good. Boop. Okay, I'm one of those people that when you're watching TV, I hate it when they leave half the batter. Do you ever see that? When they're making a cake or something and they leave half the batter
In the bowl.
and that drives me nuts. I don't know why. But it's like, you wouldn't do that at home, Can you see it? You see? I'm squishing it.
Really coating that
Yeah, you really want it. You know, actually, it's a lot of liquid. So, but that annoys me to leave half of the product in your bowl. I mean, that's kind of silly. What would be the point of that? Okay, so this is about a cup or so. We're not going to measure. If you don't want to put cheese in it, don't put cheese in it. I just thought it was kind of, it smells good too. Mm-hmm. And this is going to bake at 350 for 45 minutes. And we're going to put this in and we're going to take the chicken out because the chicken ought to be done. And then we're going to leave the chicken to rest and cool before we can get to it. Yeah. Chicken.
It's hot in that oven. I don't know why.
Yeah? Okay. Okay, we got this. We're just going to dump it in here.
Should I put the chicken right on top of the stove? Right here? Or no?
No, yeah, here you go.
Oh, there you go.
Okay, see? I took everything out of the bowl. Okay, we're going to put this in here like this. We're going to...
Do you need a glove?
You know, I am not...
Here, let me help you hold it, because I know those get heavy.
It's heavy with all that stuff in there. I get it. Oh, did I get it?
A little.
Okay. And then just mix this through. Yeah, this has eggs in it, but this is not, this will be fine. It's not going to, there's enough liquid in here that it's not going to, the heat, I don't think will set it up.
Okay, to make it
Scrambled
eggs.
Scrambled eggs, if this was the ratio, but this is.
Oh, that looks
You want to
very
get
good.
it into the oven right away, though. I mean, I don't think I'd let it sit out.
This is a really good substitute for your regular stuffing too.
Well, I mean, I think it's a really
Something
good.
like
I
that.
think it's a really good vegetarian dish. Mm-hmm. You know, if you have vegetarians in your family and they're coming over and you need to have a really healthy, you know, bountiful dish, I think this is really. I really do. I think this is. You could carrots, whatever you want, whatever kind of fall vegetables. Doesn't have to be butternut squash and. I mean, you could really put anything in here you want to. Mm-hmm. Okay, so.
Want me to put that in?
Yep. Okay, this goes into the oven about 45 minutes. Oh,
Here, I got it.
weighs a ton. Yes, it does. You want to try? Yeah.
Sideways?
Yeah. Okay. All right. Okay. Next thing up, I hope our guys are coming in. They should be here from Temptations. Some friends of mine bringing a box. How's the soup doing?
Looks good.
Okay. They'll be in a moment, and I'll introduce you to them. And then next up after that, monkey bread. We'll be right back. Hi. Okay, so this is my delivery, and these are the boxes that came in from Temptations. And let me introduce the two young men that are the owners of Temptations. Did I pronounce it? Temptations?
Yeah, that's perfect.
And this is Tim,
Kiala.
and this is
Brent Bonino.
and these are the two young men that provide these boxes, correct? I mean, this
That's right,
is
yeah.
your business, and the kind of vegetables that people get in these boxes, like I was trying to explain, is that a lot of times they'll get vegetables that maybe they're not as used to getting, and this would kind of get them associated with vegetables that they maybe not have tried before.
A different variety.
Yeah, a different variety. And since this time we're doing fall vegetables, you've brought me some boxes that would be typical boxes that would come out in the fall. And I've used today some of these products that you have in these boxes, and I can see exactly which ones I've used. The peppers, and the squashes, and the
Sweet
sweet potatoes, and we're going to be using the dried fruits. And there's corn in here. Can you see the corn? But what's kind of cool is look down here. Some onions, and you even have tomatoes. So is that
Heirloom tomatoes, yeah.
Organic.
so most of these vegetables that you send out are organic.
Yes, yeah.
Okay.
We try to make the box about 90% organic. There's some stuff that we haven't perfected the way we grow it yet to allow it to offer it organic.
Okay,
So
okay.
We want quality, local quality, organic. That's kind of how it
And
goes
look at
down.
this. I think these are
wow.
beautiful. Aren't they beautiful? I think these are just beautiful. And this is what I was talking about in one of the soups that I was making, in the chicken and corn soup. And there's corn down in here too, see? Some beautiful corn. Was the fact that these are great for vegetarians or for anybody, but it offers you things that you could put in any kind of soup or, do really anything with. And in this one,
And
look
fruit,
at...
too.
Yeah, and fruits.
the
Look at
grapes.
Usually a quarter of the box
grapes.
is about fruit.
Oh, okay. Well, that's good. And look at what we were talking about. And what was I talking about? The mushrooms which we used in the bread pudding and that was the question we had.
Right.
Was
If it's organic.
are mushrooms organic?
Well, they're not certified organic. There's actually not many pests that attack mushrooms. Flies are one that you have to control around the farm, but as far as spraying on the actual fruit, you don't really
You don't
spray
normally
pesticides.
spray. No, I didn't think so, because actually I did a show one time
Right.
about mushrooms, and I don't ever remember her ever talking about spraying
not spraying,
anything. Yeah. So that's interesting. But look at
Carrots.
Carrot. Oh, those are beautiful. And peppers. Ooh, stuffed peppers. Ooh, wonderful. Beautiful peppers. And look at down here.
Strawberries.
Oh, you guys, look at pomegranates.
Pomegranates,
Oh,
yeah.
do you remember you roll
Oh.
these?
Right,
We used to roll them and then stick a straw in it, and then you'd like get it all over yourself, and then your mother would go nuts because
Yeah.
pomegranate juice is like an ancient juice, and they use that for makeup, and they used to
Stain.
use that.
It's a
in-
real good stain.
Yeah, it does a real good stain.
Eat
Use
it
that- oh, you
outside.
put it on your lips, and we pretend that we had lipstick on.
Yeah.
Okay, we were.
That
silly.
was last week, right?
Yeah. Okay, like I've known him for like a really long time, since he was a little boy, so I'll let that one go. So this
And
is
then
beautiful.
pears and-
Oh, pears, look. So today, actually, we're going to be using some, look, he's got some dried fruits in here too. And we're going to use some dried fruits and some apples and stuff like that. I'm sure like apples are going to probably be one of the things that you send out,
Yeah.
in the fall.
Yeah.
And all year round. And see oranges too. These are neat. What kind of oranges are these?
Those are Valencias.
Ooh, they look
Yeah,
good.
they're really good. It's a really good juicing orange. Very, very sweet. Really good.
That looks good.
Navels are going to be starting.
See, you don't think, but oranges are really a fall fruit.
Winter. Yeah.
A winter,
Yeah.
But we always think of things like fruit
In the summer.
in the summer, and we don't really realize that that's actually
Yeah.
that they come
In
out.
California, the season is in the winter.
Yeah, and we don't think
So
of that way.
We plan to feature that quite a bit because we try to make, like we said, a quarter of the box fruit, a quarter of it leafy green and herbs, a quarter of it hardy vegetables would be like your carrots
Ooh.
and your pepper, and then the last quarter would be something more exotic, so you can try something.
Oh,
So you're not stuck
see-
with a whole box of exotic.
Right.
Yeah,
you get to try
But
a
I
little
like
bit.
that idea of
Yeah.
exotic
Yes.
because I really think that that's where people get introduced
Expand
into
your-
expand your knowledge, and
Yeah.
and also I think that we're going to start getting you some recipes and stuff so that when you send out exotic vegetables or fruits or something, that way people can have an idea of how to maybe use it.
Yeah.
Okay, and also today we also use the herb mixtures, which I think is like a really good idea
Right.
because it's nice. It's nice to have a fresh thing of herbs, And people are kind of afraid to use them sometimes, I think, until they get used to using them. Once you start using them, I think it becomes easier. But I want to thank you guys. This is just wonderful.
Oh, anytime.
And,
Thank you for having us.
Yeah.
I know that there's your website on here. These guys sponsored this show today, and I tried to use a lot of the different vegetables that, you would find in,
One of the
one of these boxes. And so I hope that, you'll participate in your local,
CSA.
is it CSA?
CSA, Community Supported Agriculture.
Okay, so that's kind of cool. That's really nice. Okay, well, thanks, guys.
No problem.
Thank you for
Thank you for having
coming.
us.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you. And maybe, when we get through cooking, you can take a taste.
Oh, we love
Oh,
it.
without a doubt.
Of course, these guys, they're kind of funny about
Okay, we'll take
sharing.
a small piece.
There's
And now we're gonna get started. We're gonna make some monkey bread.
Okay.
Ooh, I like monkey
I
bread.
know he does. Because he's silly.
I am.
Okay, we'll be right back.
All right.
Okay, that was fun learning about the Temptations boxes and
Right.
all the different vegetables that coming in and everything. So this is actually a couple of the products that they would be in there, and this is the monkey bread. And what we've made is in here. Can you see this? This is these are apples and Asian pears that I sliced up, and then we put melted butter. Well, you have to. This is a dessert, so, and brown sugar, and the dried. It's a dried mixed fruits,
Right.
And it's kind of neat. I mean, you could use any kind of dried fruits in here. If you didn't like mixed fruits, and you only like apricots, or you only like pears or peaches, or if you didn't like it at all, I mean, you don't have to put dried fruits in it, but it really kind of adds a really nice flavor to it. And then these are sliced almonds. Almonds, pecans, no pecans. I don't usually put walnuts. I would be very careful about putting walnuts in something. As long as if you were eating it and you knew that you weren't allergic to walnuts, it's fine. But if you were going to make it and have it for a party or something, I would be very careful about putting walnuts in something like this. So what we do, this is it. In here we had half a cup of white sugar and 2 tablespoons of cinnamon. And so what we do is these are just regular, just plain biscuits that you just buy in the refrigerator section. They're not there's no yeast or anything in them. So you just cut them in half and then you just put them in here. And we've already made a couple layers, as you can see. So you basically just toss it in the sugar and cinnamon. I mean, this you could make in the morning. It's so good. It's like one of those things that, you go, oh, I just feel like something sweet.
Yeah.
So you can just keep these in the refrigerator,
Right.
And we were talking about the fact that maybe you could actually do this sort of thing, actually using that Bridgeford bread mix.
Right.
I mean, you could actually use the same thing, I think. The only thing is that, and since this has been sitting here a little bit, you can tell it's already begun to rise a little bit because of the warmth. So you really could probably use the Bridgeford, and I think you'd be okay. The only thing is you'd probably let it proof a little bit more before you put it in the oven.
Yeah. I think this is going to be easier.
This is easier, but I mean, if you only had that, you could use that, and then you just kind of shake them around. Try to get them so that they aren't sticking to each other, but you can't help that because once they
Kind of
start,
get that with the,
you kind of get that. So, and then you just kind of layer it.
I'm just putting them in so she can arrange them.
You just kind of want to move them around because they're going to kind of puff up. So it's called monkey bread, and what happens is they kind of puff out, and then it makes this it's a pull apart. And I know that a lot of people have seen this. I mean, I think they make these in bakeries and stuff like that. But I used to make this for my daughter, but I didn't make it in a bundt pan. I made it like in a flat cake pan.
Oh.
And it really works better in a bundt pan, I find, because the heat comes through the middle, and it kind of distributes it better. And then you just layer the goodies with all the butter and everything on it, and the butter and the sugar. So what do you think? And then you're just going to put it in the oven. We're just going to stick this in the oven at, I think, what is it, 350 or so for about, what is it? I think it's like
350, I think it was, yeah.
for like, it really bakes pretty fast in 35 minutes, so it's pretty fast. So yeah, you could like get up in the morning and, you know, make this for your family, and they'd be like, "Oh, Mom," or "Oh,
I
Dad."
bet it'll smell like a homemade
Oh.
bread cooking too.
Oh yeah.
Yum.
I mean, you could make the goopy stuff the night before.
Yeah, because it can.
Because you can sit. I mean, it does. You don't have to refrigerate it because there's nothing in it that's gonna. It's just sugar and goodies. Okay.
Want me to put it in or?
Yeah. Okay,
want-
we're putting it in.
Oh,
Okay. Now we're gonna set the timer. What do you think?
okay.
Setting the timer. 35 minutes to monkey bread time. Now, as long as we didn't like blow up the house here or burn the house down, we're gonna see if we can. What I did was to go on the chicken soup. We put the chicken in, and it's been sort of stewing over there. These are corn
Tortillas.
tortillas, and this is gonna go on top, and you're just gonna fry these up.
Did you have a? You don't like this one or?
Here they are.
Oh,
You just want them to get crispy. And then that's going to be it. And then as soon as everything's done, we're going to put it on the table for you. And then you'll take a look at it and see what you think.
and taste.
And Judy gets to taste it. So.
Best part of the job.
All right, so you can see, I mean, this is all you do. This is, actually, I mean, this is kind of cool. I mean, you can make, they make tortilla chips like this, so. I mean, if you don't want to do this, you can use tortilla chips. But since we were trying to go, I wanted to show you how to do it all. So.
Yeah.
All right, we'll be back in a moment. We'll have everything out on the table, and then we'll eat. See you in a moment. Bye. Okay, ooh,
Yummy.
looking good. Look at that.
That monkey bread.
That's the monkey, you guys, that's the monkey bread. So
Very.
that's the way it looks when it comes out. See how it's all, okay,
like
so.
a cinnamon caramely.
Yeah. So, okay, we're going to start. Okay, we'll start with what we cook first. This is our soup. These are just tortillas that we cut and fried into strips. So you would just take a few of these and put them in the soup. You know, and then I have some avocado. I mean, you can put anything you want. You don't have to put avocado if you don't like it. And then, do you like lime?
Sure.
You want to taste?
Sure.
Sure.
This will be my bowl.
This will be my bowl. Okay, so taste the soup. Okay, we put that stuff in it, and okay.
I'd like to.
Just be careful because it's
Be careful.
hot. That's all.
Okay.
I don't want you to burn your mouth. Good? Okay.
Very good. That corn just pops.
Yeah, the
Very-
fresh corn is good. Is good. Well, I mean, I told you guys, if you can't get fresh corn, use frozen corn. But because I think even the frozen corn would be better. Don't try. Well, I mean, if you had to use, that's okay. You can use the canned corn, but try.
Very
okay.
good.
So now let's see. Okay, so here is the bread pudding. Ooh. And then, okay, what I did here is, this is just a roasted chicken, and I just put some gravy on it. So I'll just give you some of the, try that.
It's so quiet in here. Get a
I
mushroom.
think you guys are going to enjoy this. I really do. Definitely Sunday dinner.
Very good. A ciabatta bread is really good in there.
Yeah, see, that's why
wouldn't
I
have-
think you want
I
to make
wouldn't
sure
have
that
thought of
you want to cut these pieces into smaller pieces because it doesn't. You know, I think that I think
It's a
it
good
makes
size.
it. Yeah, it makes it easier to eat.
Yeah. That's very good. I had some of the squash too.
Oh, good.
Very tasty.
Good. Okay, next thing, and we have to use your fingers. Doot, doot. Okay, I'll have a piece too. See? Oh, look.
And a little piece.
That is so good.
Well, I better take the top piece.
So, I want to thank you guys for being here. I want to thank Jeannie, and I want to thank the Temptations for being here, for bringing us all these really good, vegetables. And like I said before, and like they were telling you, get in contact with your CSA and find out who in your area provides, these boxes of vegetables that you can
It's
have.
fruits and vegetables.
Well, it's
actually.
fruits and
Yeah.
vegetables, that can be delivered or that you can pick up for you. And you can try some new vegetables or some new fruits that you haven't tried and make it a little bit easier. And also you support your local growers. And that's really the whole thing. People need to be supported, so that they continue to grow. We need all the farmers to stay in business.
Yeah.
So
Great.
that's good. That's really good.
Very good.
That's definitely
Wait till you guys try.
that's like Sunday morning breakfast. But thanks again to Temptations for providing us with all the goodies.
Yeah.
Thanks, Jeannie.
Thank you.
Bye. This is Cooking for All Seasons, and we'll see you guys later. Oh, where's our... What's that?
I don't know.
So we can talk to them, or they can hear through you.
They're going to hear through us.
Oh,
Through us.
yes.
Okay. Oh, jeez.
It was a Halloween show.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
5, 4, 3.
Hi. Okay, look, chicken. Chicken's good. Sorry, we just had a funny moment before.
Are we ready?
So who are we thanking? Temptations.
Temptations.
It's T-I-M-P.
Yeah.
Oh, is it Tim?
It is.
See, I thought it was Tim for his name.
It is. It's
And then
Tim.
Tation. I didn't put the P in
Yeah,
there.
there's a P. In.
There is actually a P in it, and that's what it makes me.
Temptations.
I just say temptation.
Yeah.
Temptation.
And I was thinking somebody was going to say something about the dewalking or something. But, okay. We'll do that the
We
same
should
time.
do that.
And it was from the Temptations. And no, huh? Okay.
You didn't like that?
Oh,
You better not. No, we're gonna say it. We're gonna crack up. This is Cooking for All Seasons, and we'll see you guys later. I almost started to dance. I